Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler from Melda Production, and today I'm going to show you how you can use serial compression in MTurboCompMB. Now, of course, you could do this in MDynamics also, but I'm going to show you today how to do it in MTurboCompMB because I love that. It has nice models and everything, etc. Now, you're probably wondering, like, what is serial compression? All it is it's just two compressors in series. Now, the great thing about this is now that we can use this in MTurboCompMB, you can take, those compressors you love and use them, and you can also save them as one, preset in this case. And MTurboCompMB comes with MTurboComp. So if you're wondering, where do I get MTurboCompMB? When you buy MTurboCompMB comes with it, so you don't need to get anything else. Anyways, let's get started. So what we're going to do first is, if we want to do this, we need to actually reduce this number. Let's just put one band in here, like this, so we can get started. I have a vocal. I'll bypass this so you can hear this. And this is just a test vocal I'm using, so you can hear lots of variations in the volume like this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so you can hear my voice is going up and down in volume. I did that on purpose, but let's kind of correct that a little bit. So we're going to actually use two compressors. We have the first one here, but let's add a second one. I like this. It's Melda 1176. Let's go and let's add it now. So we have two bands like this. Now it's split by frequency, but we don't want that. Just like the video I showed last week, we're going to right click here and we're going to use serial. Okay. Now we have both of these. Now for this, usually I use a solo, but actually for this, use the bypass if I don't want the second one working. So what we're going to do is just work with this first one on band 1 first. I'm going to get rid of some of the transients there with this one, and then we're going to smooth it out with another one. So I have this working. I have the other one bypassed. I like to use this meters inside here just so I can see what's going on just with this band, and I can see exactly how much compression this is doing. So I'll start it, and I'll probably have to turn things down and adjust them, etc. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics. Oh, also make sure you unbypass the global. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so I'm just recording some. Okay, so that amount of compression I'm actually okay with. I might want to move up the side chain so it's not getting some of that bassiness, because this is a really bassy voiceover. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and if I think that's okay, what we can do from here is just leave it. I probably want to match the levels, but you actually don't have to because I'm going to move it into the other one. I'll let you listen to it. Actually, let me move it down and do it. One more thing you might want to do is, you see this set inside here? Make sure you're using this one instead of the global one, and this will set the volume for you to make it close to even, like this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so I'm just recording some. You see it set my output for me. I might want to move that up a little bit just because it's not always 100% right, but it's pretty close. So here is with it off. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. On. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay. So it is doing some compression, but it's not quite as smooth as I'd probably want it. So let's go into the second one now. Now in band 2, let's use a different compressor. Let's use this MA2A. So I have this. We're going to take the meter out again, and let's do lots of compression here. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay. Okay, we can do the same thing, and now that we have both of these the way I want them, I don't need that. Here, we have this last one with the meter, and we can look at the input and output and match them. We can even use the tool with the set here, but I think it's so close, I can probably just do it manually like this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio. Sounds pretty close. So here's before. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so I'm just recording some test audio to test the dynamics, and let's compress this. Okay, so that one part where it says test audio, that's obviously lower in volume, but it's not anywhere near as bad as before. And I could compress this more if I wanted to. That was a really extreme example, to be honest. But you can do that, and I can add more compression for these. I'd probably even do another compressor. But basically what I did is I used this 1176 to cut off the peaks. That's why I have a really quick attack. And then I'm using this one, which has a much slower attack, to smooth things out. So that's one of the great things about it. It's not always so good to use a lot of compression with one compressor with like a fast attack or even a slow attack, but sometimes linking many of them together can create a smoother and nicer result. But I'll give you another example. Go in here and do the same thing, but let's use a bass sound this time. I'll bypass it here so you can hear it. To be honest, I think it sounds pretty good by itself, but let's go in there and have this one bypass. Let's go into the first one. Let's just try a different one. What should I try? I'll use this one. This one's good. Actually, yeah, let's use this one. So we'll use this and we'll do the same thing. I might want to bring the attack down. And for this, let's see what I can do. So I'm not going too crazy, but I do want some compression on there. I just want to get rid of some of those peaks if I can. So, also I can change the tone here if I want to. Okay, so I'm not doing too much there. I'm just shaving off those peaks, and then I'll get more of the color from band 2. So instead of this MA2A, let's try this Very Meld, and let's start compressing this. Let's go into here. Let me turn the output down in case it gets too loud. That sounded good to me, but I can even add more saturation if I want. So here I can hear every single note. I'm not getting a lot of volume fluctuations, but it doesn't sound like I slammed into the compressor. Well, maybe it does, but not too hard. Not like I normally do with one compressor. So I think this sounds a lot better. And of course, I'm doing 2, which I think is enough, but you could do 3 or whatever you want. And also there's a bunch of other things you might want to do that don't involve 2 compressors. You might want to do something like gate the sound. Like maybe if I'm playing guitar, I want to gate the sound to get rid of the, let's say, noise. But then I might want to compress it a little bit, especially on the peaks going into the amp sim or something like that, just to make it sound a little bit better. And sometimes this will give you a better sound. But experiment and have fun with this yourself. I hope I gave you some good ideas of things you can do with this. And if I did, give me a message down below. Give me a thumbs up and check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.